Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope all of you are well out there and enjoying your week. I'm enjoying mine here. It's a little bit overcast today, but that's okay. That's okay. I've just kind of learned to roll with this. I kind of enjoy the change in weather. When I was in Costa Rica, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I'd much rather be down there, but the weather didn't change as much. Like you went into a season, like right now in Playa Jaco where I used to live, it is hotter than 40 hells and sunny every single day. I would say that probably sunny every single day. Actually, February, March, April are the hottest months. But anyhow, it's all good here. I'm eating well, loving life. And today I want to talk about the raw food diet questions I get asked the most. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go down there now and hit that big red subscribe button. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This is going to kind of just be a little miscellaneous video today. I put together several questions, topics that I get asked the most. And a lot of times they'll phrase it real seriously and like, okay, blah, 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 blah. There'll be a preamble up to it. And then like, what are your thoughts on this? And most of the time, and you'll see why when I go through these, most of the time is, oh, and also they say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? Why don't you make a video on this? And I'm like, it would be like a 30-second video, or maybe not that short, but it would be just a few-minute video because most of the questions have a very short answer. The number one question, well, I don't necessarily know if it's number one, but one question that I get all the time, especially on Instagram, because Instagram's a little bit more visual, and I'm showing my food that I'm eating a lot over there. And good Lord, in my DM, you wouldn't even imagine how many... Do you eat anything besides bananas? How many bananas do you eat a day? Bananas this. Why is it so good to eat so much bananas? Is this, is this that? And I'm just like, listen, especially in the States, bananas are my base while I'm here in the States because I don't get a lot of other fruit. You know, certain times of the year, and when I'm going back and forth to Pensacola, I do get mango, but it's a totally different way of doing this than when I was in the tropics. Now, when I lived in Costa Rica, I still ate a lot of bananas, and bananas were probably my base, but I didn't have to depend on them quite like I do here. So sometimes if I'm not getting fruit, I'm just eating a ton of bananas. Sometimes if I'm busy and I don't feel like making stuff other than, you know, an ice cream or a smoothie, I eat lots of bananas. So the banana, it just is what it is, you know. Like I say, it serves me well here. I like it even when I'm in the tropics. But no, I don't live on bananas. I don't recommend living on one food. But hey, like I say, I'm in South Alabama right now, and I just do what I have to do to survive and get by. The second question is somewhat related, and it somewhat makes me feel like the village idiot sometimes, like the other person asking the question is calling me an idiot. They'll see all this stuff that I'm eating, or I'll be eating a big ass bowl of ice cream, and they'll like, that's a lot. Isn't that too much sugar? What are your thoughts on that? And I'm like, well, and I'm a smart ass. I'm sarcastic. And my first reply was, well, no, dumbass. I mean, of course I don't think so. Now, you might phrase that another way, or you might think to yourself, okay, that's too much sugar. But when I'm sitting there eating it and you're like asking me if I don't think that's too much sugar, I'm going like, duh. I guess not, because I'm eating it. I wouldn't be eating it if I didn't. Listen, the sugar thing is very simple, and this is just my take on it. If you don't take my take, there's plenty of other people out there with different views, and who knows? Who knows if this senile old hippie is right. But to me, the whole sugar thing, the blood sugar thing, is more of an issue with fat than anything else. It's more of an issue with fat than it is with sugar, and it's definitely more of an issue with fat than it is with natural sugar in the fruit. So, like I say, I don't argue these things because you can eat whatever you want to. It's of no consequence to me, and I doubt there's anything anybody's going to say that's going to make me all of a sudden go, oh my God, I'm not eating sugar and fruit anymore. So, like I say, it is what it is. I eat a lot of bananas, I eat a lot of sugar, and I'm good with that. You just got to decide what is the best for you. The next one is recipes. What's the recipe for that? What's the recipe? Actually, I'm answering more things I get on Instagram than here because once again, going back to the visual aspect of Instagram. And I'm constantly showing food, and you know, it's always, and sometimes it just takes the joy out, because people should know by now I'm not a big recipe guy. I show, you know, I throw something out there and I put up, and all I get is a little recipe, and I'm like, shit, there ain't no recipe for that. It's kind of like I made a green soup the other day, and I'm like, when I make a green soup, I just kind of, you know, it's different every time. I grab stuff that's in the kitchen. It can be made a number of different ways. I can make it and make it taste the same way by using a number of different combinations. You know, I'll put a bunch of spinach in there, and I'll use a little bit of zucchini for filler, but there's just so many possibilities. And the same thing with ice cream. Well, now with ice cream, there's no recipe. It's just like recipe, I'm like frozen bananas. Oh, frozen bananas and whatever flavoring, like frozen bananas cacao, or like I had this morning, frozen bananas and blueberries. But most of what you see from me is not really a proper recipe, and it's not me trying to be lazy or trying to be difficult, but a lot of times, I'm just, like I say, I'm just throwing stuff. Let's see, what have I got in the kitchen today? Bing, bang, boom. By the time I show it, and by the time somebody asks me a question, I'm like, geez, what did I put in there? I think there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, blah, blah, blah. But the point being is I just make stuff in the kitchen. If you learn a few basics by like this mixes well with this mixes well, if you want to sweeten it, if you want to thicken it, if you want to do whatever, you can do wonders in the kitchen. You don't have to have proper recipes. And I'd say Alyssa's Raw Food Romance and Tanny Raw are very good for that. I've learned from both of them, well, I have learned some specific recipes, but more or less that how to, like I say, how to sweeten, like using dates for this, using this to thicken this, using this for this, and just little tricks. But I'm not a big recipe guy. I might, like I keep saying over and over, I might have one recipe book in me that will come out one time in my lifetime, and then that'll be about it. The next one I get's a reasonable question, because I think of my history with this. What about teeth? What about eating all this sugar, and how is it on your teeth? Teeth. Listen, oh, and then people will say, well, do a video on that. I'm like, well, that's definitely about a super short video, because my thoughts on that are very simple. Listen, my teeth are horrible. I'm just hanging on until I get a little bit more money flow coming in before I have to get some things done with my teeth. But let me kind of go back and give you a little bit of background on that. Most of my having bad teeth came from before. You know, I didn't come to this lifestyle until I was 47, 48 years old. 47, 48, whatever. And back when I drank a lot, I had this habit. I was never unhygienic. I don't think I was that guy that, you know, people said, God, his breath's bad. So I was always I was more cosmetic with the toothbrushing. Like I'd make sure I brushed before I went out, so I'd, you know, breath would be fresh. But as a drunk, I didn't make the best decisions. And there were a lot of nights I know when I'd be in bed and I'd be half buzzed or drunk as hell. And I knew I should get up and brush my teeth, but I didn't. And I had a lot of bad habits back then. Now fast forward to when I came to this lifestyle, a raw vegan lifestyle. I'm not going to totally say it didn't have something to do with that as well, but I'm going to tell you how to fix that. In the early days, I did not really understand the absolute importance of getting that sugar off of your teeth. And sometimes also, I wasn't so focused on it, didn't make it a priority. Like when I was in Jaco, living at the beach in Jaco, you know, I'd be running around. I had a part-time job there shooting surf and stuff on the beach, so I was on the go all the time. And sometimes I just had to grab stuff on the go, and I did a lot of orange juice on the go, and I ate a lot of bananas and things and mangoes on the go. And it wasn't like, you know, I didn't get my teeth brushed later, 9 hours later, but it did. That sugar sat on my teeth for hours, sometimes, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours. So yes, in the beginning, especially with the juice, I wasn't good about, you know, rinsing my mouth, taking care of that when I was drinking a lot of sugar and juice. Now, by the time I was in the mountain and drinking all that sugar cane and orange juice, I was aware of that, but still damage had been done. So bottom line on all of this, people say, what should I do? I recommend cleaning your teeth as soon as you're finished eating. Now there's certain things like citrus that and you'll have to look into that. I'm not a dental expert. There's certain things like citrus juice and citrus that you don't necessarily want to brush your teeth immediately after that. Sometimes that's more something that you just want to use a rinse, coconut oil or whatever you use as a dental rinse. But basically, just get the sugar as soon as you're done. Like, I just ate some ice cream a little while ago, and I immediately put my dish in the sink, cleaned it, and then went and cleaned my teeth. So just get the sugar off your teeth ASAP. And let's see, I think I had one more. Oh, the last one. The last one's obvious. I get this all the time. Are you eating organic, or organic versus conventional? What are your thoughts on that? And once again, I'm kind of like, well, what do you mean my thoughts on that? That's pretty, isn't that just a kind of a silly question? I don't eat organic. I'm in Alabama. But my thoughts on that, and this is just my thoughts once again, and honestly, I don't want to get no discussions with this. The organic versus non-organic people can be a little cray-cray sometimes. Obviously, I would always encourage to choose organic if you can. I would eat everything organic if I could, and that's what I'm aiming towards. That's what I'm thinking about, you know, when eventually, when I'm able to go back down to the tropics full time, I'm looking at an area down there, and things could change and I could find another area, but I'm looking at an area where I could pretty much, not 100% all the time, but I think I could pretty much eat all organic food. So yes, that's a dumb question. It's like, if you can, always choose organic. Obviously, if it's not around, okay, like I was being a smartass in an Instagram video one day. I'm like, okay, since I don't get organic, I'll play devil's advocate against these people that just are organic psychotic. Okay, I don't get organic here, so boom. I guess I should just go back to eating what most people around here eat, and just, you know, I can go to Church's Fried Chicken, I can pop down to McDonald's, and yeah, I'm not getting organic, so I might as well just eat that stuff, huh? I don't think so. But, and also too, even if you have, I understand, you know, some people, it's a money thing. Even if you have organic in your area, depending on how much more expensive it is than regular, you know, you got to do what you've got to do. So yes, definitely, if you can get organic, eat 100% organic. Eat organic all the time, but in the end, it comes down to making the best choices that we have available to us in our circumstances. So anyhow, I don't know if that was beneficial at all. I hope that helped. Hope that cleared a few things up that you may have had to ask in the past. But if you like this one, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Peace.